Walking, 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 walking. Guess what today is? Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ooh, smell the fire? Somebody's got a fireplace going.
It smells so good.
That means it's crisp in the air, crispiness.
It's cold, like it got cold out.
Like, no, seriously, an hour ago I went somewhere and it was still nice and warm. And now it's like chilly. Chilly willy. That means the storm is coming. Do we get our power walk in before the rain hits?
Well, we might wait last minute to do it, but we're doing it.
So, Wellness Wednesday. So when people say, oh, I can't afford to go to the gym, I can't afford a gym membership, I can't afford this, I can't, guess what you can do that's free?
Walking.
What
I
is
love
it?
walking.
What is it?
Walking, walking, walking.
Walking is free, guys.
Well, and it's so good for like
Walking
your
is free.
mental. I think that's one thing I love about walking. Is it
What?
just helps clear your mind and gives you like a fresh new start of a mindset for that day. It's amazing.
So, we love walking. Walking does a lot of things for me. You know, people are like, oh, so do you put music on or do you whatever? So, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's to each his own. But for me, I don't want music blaring in my ears as I'm walking. I use my walking time to think and process.
And I like to hear the birds chirp and
right, I mean, like, I like to hear Mother Nature. I like to hear when a car is behind me.
trip. Oh, Mom, I think we're gonna get downward.
Hear that? Did you hear that?
Our love.
Did you hear that?
Because we waited last night.
Ah!
It's fine.
We're hurrying. Anyways, that was Mother Nature saying, you want me? You want to hear me? You want to hear me? Can you hear me now?
We got a car coming.
Can you hear me now? See, and there's a car coming, so I can hear the car coming too. So there's all kinds of reasons why we don't have music blaring in our ears. It is so we can hear cars coming and we can hear Mother Nature talking to us. But anyways, I like to use my walking time to solve issues, solve problems, resolve things, come up with new ideas. Because you know me, I wake up every day and I'm like, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? What can I do differently? What can I change? What can I invest in? What? And so I like to use my walking time for those reasons. And if I'm pissed off or if I'm mad or if I'm frustrated or sad, guess what? By the time I'm done with my walk, my whole demeanor has changed. My whole demeanor. So we keep getting a lot of you to ask, what's your fitness regimen? What is your eating regimen? What do you eat in a day? What do you do for exercise? What? So we thought we would take today, being Wellness Wednesday,
Yeah.
as an opportunity to go over all these issues and these things with you so that I can enlighten you. So I have a wealth of knowledge in this thing called my head.
Oh, Mother.
Sometimes it's hard to pull it all out because there's so much in there. And that's why we're creating the vault. Yes, we're working on the vault. But anyways, we are creating the vault. But in the meantime, I want to take this time, this opportunity to, we've come to a dead end down here. Let's turn. God, it got chilly, didn't it? Ooh.
I know, it's kind of nice though.
It is.
It's not too hot since we're both wearing,
sweatshirts.
sweaters.
But anyways, like I said, the one thing that you can do that is free of charge is walk. I don't care if you live in a crowded city, there's streets and sidewalks. I don't care if you live in the country, I don't care where you live. Walking is free. And I know so many people that have just lost large amounts of weight because they got into walking. And they consistently did it every single day. They didn't just do it for a day or a week. And guess what? When you walk, not only does it help you mentally, remember during COVID, and I kept saying to everybody, whoa, we're either going to have a bunch of overweight people with mental problems, or we're going to have a bunch of skinny people because everybody during COVID just went out and walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. And they kept their sanity.
Well, and when Lamar had those heart problems, didn't the heart doctor tell him that like the best thing you can actually do for your heart is to walk?
Walk, 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 walk. Walk, 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 walk. And just like I told you guys a while back when I went to my heart appointment and they did that echocardiogram, leaky valve, gone. I just asked my doctor yesterday. We're going to get on this subject too, because I do hormone replacement. But anyways, I was talking to my hormone replacement doc, Doc Willie, and I was talking to him about the leaky valve, and he's like, Teresa, I've seen stranger things happen. He said, I truly believe it's not one thing that you're doing. It's not just one thing, but it is a combination of everything you do, and that you've been on this health kick this past year to really get your health even more under control, get your, because I've been insulin resistant too most of my life. So between the insulin resistance and the hormone issues, it has been a 10-year struggle ever since. It has been a struggle this past 10 years, ever since I got my hysterectomy, to try to figure out, golly,
That damn wind.
can you hear the wind?
We're like there in the storm here. Oh my God.
I just feel like I'm up against the wall. Jesus Lord. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Woo, I hope because we're walking into the wind, you're not hearing it. Ooh,
Horrible.
damn. Oh, that was a gust. Dang, that flag was standing straight out. Now it's like hanging down. But anyways, we're gonna go inside and finish talking about this. Because it is just frigid out here, and I didn't put the right jacket on, and it's about to downpour. Did you hear that thunder? But anyways, I have a treadmill in my house, a Peloton treadmill, so we're gonna.
I have yet to even try that Peloton treadmill.
It is so much fun.
But I personally would rather walk outside to see the scenery.
Any day,
fresh air.
any day. It's always more fun to be outside because it's just fresh air and Mother Nature and everything. But Doc Willie said, he's like, Teresa, it's not like you're doing one thing that changed everything. He says you do a magnitude of so many amazing, wonderful things to.
See, we left the house and it thundered. We get back to the house and it's thundering.
There it goes. She's trying to say, I'm giving you ample warning, get your ass in the house because I'm about to open the skies up and flood your ass.
Basically, yes.
And it's cold out here. So can you imagine getting caught in the rain with it being this cold out here?
No. I'm already cold.
So anyways, we're gonna go into my trusty white wall and we're gonna go over hormone replacement,
Which I also take hormones as well.
eating. So some of you wanna know what I eat in a day, so we're gonna show you that too. So let's jump inside because Mother Nature has spoken. Twice now, and I do listen to her because she's.
And I gotta go and get the kids in this.
So,
said
anyways,
go.
let's jump inside. Okay, so we got inside where it's much warmer, much warmer. So we're gonna start off, first of all, with nutrition. Okay, so I have done a lot of trial and error over the years. It all started, when you're in high school and when you're a young athlete, you can eat a lot of things then that you can't really eat when you get older. Proven fact. Any nutritionist will tell you that. Like our bodies just don't metabolize things in our latter years, in our 40s and 50s and 60s, like it did when we were in our 20s. Like we could eat sugar, licorice, candy. You could eat all that stuff when you're younger, especially in your 20s and younger, and your body just, but as you get older, your body tends to not be able to metabolize it like it did when it was younger. So over the years, I have found that I've constantly had to tweak my eating. So I don't eat the same way now that I did in my 20s. Good God, when I was younger and in my 20s, I was pretty much known as the human garbage disposal because I was like as tall as I am right now, size 3, size 5. I was a stick. And I could literally eat till my heart's content and never gain 1 pound. That's not so anymore. Some of you are like, well, I eat the same way I did when I was 25. Well, you can't. Hardly anybody can continue to eat the same way they did when they were a teenager or in their 20s. So through trial and error and through seeing what works and doesn't work with my body, I have learned that my body just does not process carbohydrates anymore the way it used to. And so I have cleaned up my eating profusely throughout the years. And so some of you are like, what do you eat in a normal day? So I'm pretty much a creature of habit. When I find something that works for me, I just stick to it. Like, yeah, sometimes when I go out for brunch with my family, I might have some scrambled eggs instead of what I'm about to show you right now. But sometimes I'll have scrambled eggs and what I'm about to show you right now. But I don't indulge in hash browns and pancakes and waffles and all that other stuff because my body just does not want to process carbohydrates like it used to. So what I found works for me is pretty much the same thing every morning. I get up, I have 1 or 2 cups of coffee first thing, and I will either continue to fast until noon, which is called intermittent fasting. I will either do that, or if my body's kind of just hungry and I don't think I can make it till noon through the intermittent fasting, I will literally get me a container, one of these containers of Chobani. I normally almost always get the vanilla with the mixed berry. Almost always. It's my favorite. So I get one of these and I open it and I put it into a little bowl. And then I love this protein granola. A lot of you are like, oh yeah, I like granola. Well, I like protein granola. It's not just a sugary cereal granola. It is a protein granola. And you can get different flavors. This one is oats and honey, which is of course my favorite. This one's cranberry almond, which is amazing. And this is oats and dark chocolate, which is amazing. All 3 of these, I can find them at Walmart, I can find them at Kroger's, I can find them at H-E-B. So they're there, they're out there. You just gotta look for them. Protein granola by Nature Valley. So good. And sometimes if you don't wanna just mix it with yogurt, I'll just sit there and have a few handfuls of it as a snack because it's protein, it's good for you, it's sweet, it tastes good. Yeah. So that is what I eat for breakfast almost every day if I'm not doing the intermittent fasting. If I'm doing intermittent fasting, I can hold off till lunchtime. But this is if I get hungry. Lunchtime, again, a creature of habit. I either do a ready-made salad, which you can pick these up at any grocery store. Any grocery store has ready-made salads now. This one's a chef salad, this one's a Caesar with chicken. But almost any grocery store you go into always has already prepared salads. If you don't do an already prepared salad, I get bags of salad. Any grocery store has them. And then I get these bags of like fajita chicken. And of course they normally come fresh, or I buy a ton of them at a time. And I just throw them in my freezer like I did this one. So it's frozen, that's why I'm kind of. But anyways, these are so amazing because it gives you fajita chicken in an instant. If it's frozen, throw it in the microwave, heat it up real fast, and then you can throw it on salads. It's got a chicken breast fajita taco. I mean, like, you can use these. Like, sometimes I'll just heat this up and put it with some steamed broccoli, and voila, it's a meal. Like, so easy. So, I can make my own salad. I slice up some tomatoes, slice up some cucumbers, voila, I have it. And then dinner is so incredibly easy. If I go out to eat, or whether I stay home and cook, like right here, fresh tuna. Of course it's frozen, I just got it out of my freezer, but I'm showing you. Fresh tuna. Right here is fresh salmon. This is sockeye salmon. It's frozen, of course. This is frozen broccoli, but I will be steaming it. But like I said, I am a creature of habit. Yes, every once in a while I'll indulge and eat something a little different, but I don't stray very far from what I know my body tolerates and likes, and I can stay a healthy weight at. And so normally dinner is so simple. It's either a grilled chicken breast or it's some kind of fresh fish. And I normally just do a steamed vegetable. And I love steamed broccoli. I love steamed asparagus. So I'm very much a creature of habit. Whether I'm at a restaurant or whether I'm at home, I tend to stick with, and people are like, oh, well, don't you get tired of just eating the same thing all the time? No, because I can dress it up. I can put different vegetables with my chicken or my fresh fish. My salads, same thing. If I don't want chicken fajita on it, I can stick leftover salmon on top of it and do a Greek salad. I can put anything I want on it. I mean, like, it just doesn't matter. If you want to do ground beef and make yourself kind of a taco salad, you can do that. And so the key to getting bored with what you're eating is to change it up and just change a few things with it to make it seem better, taste better, seem different, whatever. I'm like, that's the key. But you really do find that it takes, because some people are like, oh my God, I go to a restaurant and I see the menu and oh my God, I can't make up my mind what I want. Well, that's called a smorgasbord or a buffet. And that's what happens when you go to smorgasbords and buffets. You can't make up your mind, so you want to eat everything. Well, I know going into a restaurant, I know immediately I need to look at the menu and I need to look at something that I know that I can eat that's going to agree with me, that's not going to upset my stomach, that's not going to be too many carbs, because too many carbs does bad things to my body and my blood work and everything else. So I just know to stick with what I know works. Yes, sometimes I'll have a caprese salad, which is the tomato and the mozzarella, along with a grilled chicken breast. Or sometimes I'll have a salad with tuna on it at the restaurant. You know, I'm like, yes, I change things up, but I know to stick to my basics and stick to what I know works. If I don't want to gain weight, if I don't want to feel sleepy and sluggish, if I don't want my body to react in bad ways, which has happened before, I know what I should eat. I know what works. And I'm telling you, once you figure that out, it takes all of the guesswork out of it, and you will be quite impressed with how easy it is to lose weight or stay in shape, because you're not constantly sticking all that bread in your mouth and those carbs like macaroni and cheese. Oh yeah, don't we all love that stuff? Yes, oh my God, don't we all do it? But I don't eat it on a daily basis. What I will do is maybe have a little spoon of it at Thanksgiving time or Christmas time or Easter time. So I do get to give that to myself every once in a while, but I don't eat a whole bowl of it. I might have just like a little dollop of it and go, okay, I've had some, I'm good. But that's the other problem, is most people don't have that kind of willpower or discipline. And I think what helped me was back in the day when I was bodybuilding and I was competing, you learn discipline. You learn, hey, if I let that touch my lips and my tongue for 1 minute, I'm gonna pay the price. And then I'm gonna have to spend hours and hours and hours on a treadmill or a bicycle or whatever, burning it back off. So you kind of learn that little minute of pleasure is not worth it, because you're gonna pay the price. So anyways, that just kind of touches base. Yes, I do have a cocktail almost every night. Instead of it being a glass of wine, because most people like to have a glass of wine with dinner, which is common, I found that wine just had way too much sugar for me. Yes, do I occasionally indulge in a glass of wine when I'm with friends or something? Sure. But normally, instead of a glass of wine every night at dinner time, I will have a glass about yay big. Actually, there's probably one up here. Yeah. And I fill it completely full of ice, and I only put about up to there with vodka, which you're like, whoa, that's a lot of vodka. No, it's not, because your glass is full of ice. So if you took the ice out, you'd see that there was very little vodka in there. But I put a little bit of vodka in there, squeeze some lime juice, fill it up with tap water. And that is my one indulgence. Instead of a glass of wine with dinner, this is what I would drink with dinner. But, you know, some people are like, well, if I want to lose weight, I just cut out alcohol. Well, that's all fine and great, but eventually you're going to start drinking alcohol again. So I've always learned, and I've always tried to teach my clients, that it's easier to look at the whole picture instead of just taking away my alcohol. Because I'm never going to not drink alcohol. That's my one indulgence I enjoy. It's my one thing I relax with at night. It's no different than just sitting and having a glass of wine with your dinner. Instead, it's a mixed cocktail, but it's a very light mixed cocktail. So I prefer not to just totally cut out alcohol, because I know eventually people are going to put the alcohol back in, and then so you get the picture. So anyways, that covers kind of eating. So let's get upstairs to the whiteboard, and I'm going to write some stuff down, because we're going to talk about your hormones. Okay, we have moved on to hormones. I call them hormones because they're a horror to work with, to deal with. They will drive you absolutely crazy, because unbeknownst to most people, your hormones control a lot in your body. And your hair can be doing crappy, your skin can be doing crappy, your moods can be doing crappy, your weight can be doing crappy, and you can be trying to eat as good as you can eat and exercise as good as you can exercise. But if your hormones are messed up, there's not a damn thing you can do about all of that unless your hormones are straightened out. And I have learned this over the course of the last 8 to 10 years. Basically, I started going premenopausal in my 40s, to the point where I was like sweating a lot. Like I would be at a girlfriend's house for an event, or just, you know, a bunch of girlfriends getting together, and I would just start sweating profusely, and I'd be like, what is wrong with me? Why am I sweating? I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here having a glass of wine with some girlfriends. And so that was the first time I reached out and asked about what was going on. And they were like, oh, you're premenopausal. And I'm like, oh, I'm only in my 40s. And they're like, it can hit women any time. And I was like, oh, okay. So tell me more about it. So basically, my body was starting to go through the change of life. You can look all of this up. It's out there. But anyways, you get premenopausal, then you get menopausal, and then you get postmenopausal. I mean, like it's drug out forever. And if any of you are out there and you've been through menopause, or you're going through menopause, or you're going through anything that I'm talking about, you're going to agree with me. I mean, it will make your life so miserable. You, like when you're going through those hot sweats and everything, or even at night when you're sleeping and you wake up and you're just in a puddle of sweat in your bed, you literally want to climb inside of a freezer. Like if you open the freezer to get some ice, you just want to crawl inside there. It feels so good. But anyways, I set out to figure out my hormones then. And so I went to one doctor. She was a female doctor. And she started me on some progesterone tablets, estrogen cream that you rubbed on your wrists, and I can't remember what we were doing for testosterone. Anyways, couldn't get it straightened out. Couldn't figure it out. I was on a cruise for an entire month in the Mediterranean, and I had my period the entire month. You know, my husband's looking at me like, really, Teresa? We're on vacation. And I'm like, you think I planned this, you know? But anyways, bled the entire cruise. Found out through trial and error that because I'm such an athlete, I work out so much, that I was sweating off the estrogen cream. Like it wasn't even able to soak into my skin. Like I was sweating it off. Anyways, once again, your periods all are linked to your hormones too. So anyways, I was having all kinds of period problems. I couldn't get these sweats to go away. It was ridiculous. So I left that doctor, went to another hormone specialist, and he tried testosterone pellets, estrogen patches, and progesterone tablets. Couldn't get anything straightened out. I would literally be getting ready for a photo shoot and I would call him and say, OMG, yesterday I had 2 salads, one for lunch, one for dinner, and I woke up this morning and I'm 10 pounds heavier and I'm a blowfish and I'm getting ready for a photo shoot. Like like help, 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 you know. So he'd be like, okay, here's a diuretic, you know, get the water off. And I'd be like, but what's causing it, doc? Like, what's causing this? Like, he's like, I don't know, we just need to keep tweaking your hormones. And I was like, oh my God. So got frustrated with him. Then I went back to this other female doctor, not the same female doctor, this other female doctor, and she tried to get it straightened out. And estrogen by mouth, progesterone by mouth, testosterone injections. Still, and that was about the time I was standing naked in Times Square. So now we're talking 2015. So somewhere with all of the bleeding and all of the everything going on, they finally determined that I had a bunch of fibroids, cysts in my uterus, and they could take them out, but the chances would be that they would grow back. So I said, well, can I just have a hysterectomy because I'm turning 50 and I don't need my uterus anymore. I'm not having any more kids. And they're like, sure. So I went ahead and had a total hysterectomy. We decided that would be what was best. So that was like 2012, 2013-ish, because I was remodeling 47 Grand Regency. So that changed everything as far as hormones goes, because now I don't have my uterus, I don't have my ovaries, fallopian tubes, I don't have any female anatomy down there inside anymore. So now I'm scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, so like I'm not producing anything. At least before I was producing some and we were trying to supplement it, but now I don't have anything. So now it just changed the whole trajectory of everything. Went to this other female doctor. She started trying her ways with it. Then I went to this other. I mean, I've seen like 5 or 6 different doctors. And I finally have it right. This particular doctor found out that I was insulin resistant. And we found out that my body was not absorbing the testosterone pellets. And the estrogen, we couldn't get it figured out because I was trying the cream, I was trying the patches, I was trying to take tablets, I was trying to do everything. Through his wonderful expertise and trial and error and trying to figure it out with me and staying persistent in trying to make sure we could get it figured out, he figured out what worked best for me was to do estrogen pellets, not the testosterone pellets, but estrogen pellets, do testosterone injections, and I don't need at all to take progesterone because I don't have any organs. I don't have the uterus and the ovaries and all of that anymore. So there's really no need for me to take progesterone anymore. So, like I said, through trial and error, he got it right. A lot of you are like, how is it in the last 6, 7, 8 months you've been able to lose weight like we haven't seen you lose weight before? And I'm telling you guys, you can be the best athlete in the world. You can do everything right as far as eating, but if those hormones are not perfectly right, you might as well just keep paddling out in that ocean and never get anywhere because those hormones control everything. Men have more testosterone than women do. Men do have estrogen, but women have more than men do. And so men, a lot of times as they age and their libido is not like it used to be when they were younger, a lot of men end up getting injections of testosterone to help their libido so that they have more sex drive and so that they don't have erectile dysfunction, you know? I mean, like, so it's not uncommon for anybody, men or women, to do bioidentical hormone replacement because it works. It works. It makes your body get back to having hormones like you were in your 20s, which is amazing. I mean, you feel good, you look good. I mean, like, who doesn't? I mean, like, there's just no reason for a woman to have to age and look like an old hag and feel like an old hag and just be miserable. I mean, I can remember when I was younger, I used to look at these women, once they got into their 50s and 60s, they were gray haired, big old bellies, mad at the world all the time, just grumpy, hot flashes, waving the fan, can't get, I mean, like, and I was just like, oh my God, is this what we have to look forward to? Being miserable like this? Oh, yuck. So, anyways, guys, yes, I do bioidentical hormones, and this past year, we finally got everything perfectly right. My hormones are perfect. My eating is perfect. My workouts are perfect. Yes, I've been under more stress than usual because of everything with Lamar, but for once in the last 8 to 10 years, everything is finally working together. And a lot of times when you get your bioidentical hormones, you think you're like, oh, in 30 days, I'll be fantastic. No, a lot of times it takes your body a whole cycle to 2 cycles. And when I say cycle, I mean like they put bioidentical hormones, the estrogen pellets in me every 6 months. And so a lot of times it takes a couple rounds of that and your testosterone and everything, for everything to just finally go, okay, it's right. It's finally right. So if you're all wondering, how'd you lose the weight? Oh, did you do Ozempic? Did you do Wegovy? Did you do all the needles? No. It's called finally getting it right. And so if you go back, this is a picture of me in 2012 when we were filming for Win and Romer. It was right before I had my total hysterectomy. You'll see that I'm as thin as I am now. But some of you may not have been following me then, so you may not remember, or some of you just might have forgot. But we're gonna throw up a couple pictures here so you can see that I'm literally as thin then as I am now. So it's not like I'm thinner than I've ever been in my entire life. I've always normally been on the thinner side, but this past 8 to 10 years has been a struggle. It really has been a struggle. But now I feel like I can ride off into the sunset and be perfectly happy now because we finally just have everything right. Workouts are great. Nutrition is great. My blood work is great. My leaky valve is gone in my heart. Like, I just finally feel freaking amazing. I literally feel like I'm in my 20s and 30s, and so it's great. So anyways, that's just a little schooling on hormones and how hormones play into your life and your moods and your hair and your nails and your skin and your weight and everything. So guys, I hope you understand a little more about hormones and the importance of them in our bodies and how literally everything can just go crazy stupid if your hormones are not balanced. And you're going to get, I know, you're going to get all kinds of people coming at you saying, oh, you don't need to be on bioidentical hormones, or oh, you don't need to do that, or oh, you don't need to do that. Listen, I am probably the person that tries to do everything as naturally as possible because I do not like drugs. I don't like anything that's not healthy. Granted, Botox probably isn't the healthiest, but I do Botox. But anyways, if I could have somehow, and believe me, I researched it till I was blue in the face, and there was just no way around not getting bioidentical hormones to get my hair and my skin and my moods and the hot flashes and the weight gain and the grumpiness and the bitchiness and the just everything that I've got right here. If there was a way to do it naturally, and believe me, I tried every natural remedy there was. Nothing worked. And so y'all can just say what you want. You're all allowed to have your own comments, but bioidentical hormones and getting them straightened out and to the right dosage and everything has been a journey. It hasn't been an easy one because I wasn't willing to just get it half-assed. I wanted it done right. And this past year, we have just finally honed in and gotten it perfect. Actually, it could have happened a lot faster, but I forgot because of all the stuff I was doing with Mr. Lamar. I forgot one of my 6-month appointments to go get my hormones, you know, my estrogen pellets. And so that put me like off. So anyways, during COVID and during this past 2 years of dealing with Lamar and all of his issues, there was some times where I wasn't really taking care of myself the best. I was missing appointments and so on and so forth. So anyways, finally this past year, we've gotten it finally zeroed in, honed out, and perfect. Like, and how do I know it's perfect? Because everything is just clicking right. Like, everything. I've been able to lose the bloatiness. I was able to lose the weight. I was able to get rid of the grumpiness and the mood swings and the water retention, and my hair is growing again, and my skin is better. Oh, and an update on the eye. I know a lot of you are like, oh, you need to get that thing looked at. Okay, so been to so many doctors, and finally this last doctor, the eye doctor, says it is a sty, and the antibiotic serum stuff that I was using inside my eye could never really help because it was a closed off tear duct thing. The ointment was never going to get inside of it. So anyway, she has me on 10 days of antibiotics. We're trying warm compresses all the time. She said that if it is not gone by the time I get back from New York Fashion Week, then she's going to recommend me to go to another specialist who will then flip my bottom eyelid wrong side out, and they will have to cut this or lance it from the inside. I'm just like, good God, good God. Have no idea how I got a sty, don't have a damn clue. But the reason you have not been seeing me all dolled up and looking fabulous is because I have not been able to wear makeup, because I've been trying to treat this thing, and it's hard to wear makeup and eyelashes and do all of that when you've got this big lump under your eye. I've tried to be as el natural as possible to let this thing heal. But anyways, just a little newsflash update on the eye. So don't worry, there was no need to run off to the skin doctor and think it was anything super bad. She looked at it in the machine at the eye doctor's, and she said she could see that it was clearly a sty, which I always thought styes were more up on your eyelid, not under like this. But whatever, I don't care. Anyways, so we are going to be able to share part 2 of this with you. It will be part of our Motivational Monday video, because we're going to dive headfirst into exercises, the importance of exercise. I'm going to show you some exercises, and we're going to go all into that. But to be able to add it to this video was going to just take it, and I mean, you'd be sitting here watching an hour and a half video. So there is a part 2 to this. It will be Motivational Monday. So hopefully you'll stay tuned, because I know some of you are wanting to know my exercises and what I do for my body and to stay toned and so on and so forth. Because staying toned is totally different than trying to gain muscle if you're trying to compete, or gain muscle because you want to have a different shaped body. Because remember, guys, putting on muscle in different areas of your body can totally change your physique. Like if you're really big bottomed and you're big on the hips, you can actually lift weights and make your shoulders a little broader and nicer looking. Because some women that have really broad hips have little tiny shoulders, so it makes their hips look bigger, and they don't want their hips to look necessarily that much bigger. So they broaden out their shoulders a little bit, which then gives you that complete hourglass shape that so many people desire. So anyways, we're going to dive more first into that as my dogs continue to bark. We're going to dive more into that on Motivational Monday, when we're going to get into the exercise part of taking care of yourself. Remember also, we have a big Valentine's sale going on right now on my website with 3 bundles. Not everything's on sale, but the 3 bundles are on sale for Valentine's Day. So run over to my website, grab yourself one of those bundles for Valentine's Day. Shop for yourself like I do. It's always fun. And remember to check out my link tree. All of my social media is on my link tree. So if you're wondering where I'm at in this world, when it comes to social media, my link tree will show you everything. So until next time, guys, stay safe, take care of yourself, And stay tuned to part 2 on Monday, Motivational Monday. Bye-bye.